3 years into our marriage, Ethan became infatuated with a college girl. Their passionate affair burned brightly while I maintained my role as the gracious society wife, even covering for him during family gatherings. The charade continued until the night he stormed into an upscale club searching for his rebellious sweetheart, only to find me perched on a male model's lap, leaving lipstick stains across his neck. The usually composed heir to the Thompson Group shattered crystal tumblers with bare hands, his eyes bloodshot. His latest mistress had grown bold recently, foolishly confronting the Thompson patriarch at the family estate to demand recognition. After the old man's eruption of fury, Ethan and I staged an elaborate reconciliation to extract the girl unscathed. Sniffling behind us as we passed through the wrought iron gates, the young thing immediately clutched Ethan's sleeve. "I never wanted your money." Her tear-filled gaze lifted dramatically, mascara streaking porcelain cheeks. The performance explained why Ethan remained enchanted, this wide-eyed innocence contrasting sharply with our world of calculated alliances. Ethan's brow furrowed momentarily before softening. "Hush now," he murmured, fingers carting through her highlighted waves with practiced tenderness. Turning to me, he shifted uncomfortably. "She's shaken." "I'll take a cab," I interjected smoothly, ignoring how his relieved nod stung. The fool forgot our estate's private security radius rendered rideshares impossible. Let him discover that when his credit card statement shows the $300 luxury car service charge. He returned next evening sporting fading lipstick smudges above his collar, childish territorial markings. I accepted his jacket wordlessly. The model spouse incarnate. "Is she recovering well?" "Just needed pampering." His smirk faded when I voiced the rehearsed line, "Have you considered making it official?" The silence stretched. "Olivia, what are you suggesting?" "That we divorce." Years of suppressed resentment sharpened the words. "This charade has expired." Ethan's patrician features tightened. The same face that once made my teenage heart flutter now ice cold. "You understand the implications. This isn't some fling to discard lightly." He wasn't entirely wrong. Our union bound the Song and Thompson empires like steel cables. Yet as I studied this stranger I'd called husband, the cables felt more like nooses. "Enough!" Ethan cut me off sharply, yanking me into his arms with a rough gesture. "I know I've been distant lately, but I'll change. Don't ever mention divorce again, Olivia." His lips puckered in that infuriatingly familiar way as he leaned in. I slapped my palm against his mouth. "I'm on my period." After the disastrous divorce discussion, I packed my Louis Vuitton suitcases and fled our Upper East Side penthouse. Ethan bombarded my phone with calls and texts, convinced this was some jealous tantrum. Truth was, I just couldn't risk another hormonal ambush. Jealousy? Sure. During our first year of marriage, every tabloid rumor about his affairs gutted me. But after the 12th business trip with his personal assistant, you build calluses. The love eroded, grain by grain, until only polished resentment remained. Let him keep misunderstanding. I swiped his black Amex with renewed vigor at Bergdorf's considerate emotional compensation. 1 week into my freedom, Emma and I strutted into Manhattan's most exclusive members-only club, charging $500 cocktails to Ethan's account. Then I spotted her, the mistletoe-thin intern from Ethan's firm, now balancing fruit platters in a cheap polyester uniform. I snapped my fingers, feigning forgetfulness. Why the career change? The girl's Bambi eyes flashed. Ethan and I share real love. Her tray rattled like a spooked cat's tail. He only stays with you for the Song family merger. Emma snorted champagne bubbles. Darling, does your prep school not teach gold digging 101? At least negotiate a penthouse before playing mistress. I waved her off. Youthful delusions. Old money marriages require either stellar lineage or astronomical net worth. We swept past her into the VIP lounge. Ethan would sooner sell his grandmother's pearls than risk disinheritance. Speaking of risks, Emma giggled. Your husband's little problem is throwing tantrums. Apparently you stealing his attention cramps their affair. I didn't bother responding. The real entertainment arrived, 6 feet of Adonis-like male model with abs you could grate Parmesan on. 2 hours later. Crimson lipstick smeared across my cheek. I straddled my personal Greek god when the door exploded inward. Ethan stood framed in shattered mahogany, his Brioni suit straining over heaving shoulders. My Valentino bandage dress creaked dangerously as I turned. Still perched on the gigolo's lap. Olivia. His voice held that dangerous calm before hurricanes. We need to talk. The model's biceps tensed beneath me. I patted his stubbled cheek. Don't worry, sweetheart. The prenup's airtight. The seductive look in my eyes hadn't completely faded when I saw Ethan's stormy expression. I pecked the male escort's lips once more before slowly sliding off his lap. Ethan's face darkened like a burnt skillet, glaring at the escort as though imagining him drawn and quartered. I smoothed my hair, breaking the silence first. What brings you here? His words came through clenched teeth, low and deliberate. Olivia. How dare you? What's there to dare? You play your games. I play mine. My voice faltered despite myself. Fair's fair, you've kept your mistresses without me making scenes. My guilt stemmed not from getting caught, but from using his money to cheat. Mr. Thompson. We've been searching the VIP lounge. A portly man Emma-chan approached with his arm around a young woman. My deepest apologies about Lily. I had no idea she was yours. So that's her name. Ethan remained motionless, not even glancing their way. Lily fluttered toward him like a fledgling returning to the nest, tearfully throwing herself against his chest. Honey, I'm sorry for being difficult and taking this job without telling you. I rolled my eyes. The audacity of this mistress calling my husband honey to my face should have angered me. But mostly it just turned my stomach. The real spectacle was the manager's expression as he looked between me, my disheveled escort, Ethan, and his weeping arm Candy, his face cycling through a dozen emotions in 60 seconds. Corporate marriages often tolerate discreet affairs, but this public meltdown defied all unspoken rules. Ethan patted Lily's back with forced calm. Go home with the driver. Sweetheart. I need to handle something. Lily pouted, eyeing me as she withdrew from his embrace. Is this about him.So? When I started working here last week, I heard she and her friend booked 5 premium escorts in one night. Her innocent tone dripped venom. I didn't mention it earlier because I didn't want to cause trouble. Clever girl. I muttered. Ethan's fist clenched at his side, his glare shifting to Lily. I said leave. Now. When she stood teary-eyed expecting comfort, he snapped uncharacteristically. Get out! As Lily fled sobbing, Ethan stalked to the couch I'd recently occupied and collapsed onto it. Emma. Bring my wife's entire selection. The word escorts seemed to choke him. The sweating manager scurried away. Ethan suddenly smashed a crystal tumbler against the wall, then threw his suit jacket at me. The lingering perfume of Lily's cheap fragrance wafted over my face as the fabric covered my head. Put it on, he growled when I tried returning it. His gaze burned holes through my miniskirt. And never leave the house dressed like this again. Since when did you become such a control freak? I never realized how possessive you were before. I calmly folded my clothes and met his gaze. Ethan. Let's get a divorce. I'm done with this. Ethan, who'd been holding back until now, completely lost it. His eyes bloodshot. He kicked the table in front of him, sending it skidding sideways. Didn't I warn you never to mention that fucking word again? I sighed, trying to keep my voice level. You don't even love me. Why are you so hell-bent on keeping me tied to you? This arrangement is making everyone miserable, all 3 of us. Ethan froze momentarily before pointing at the quiet male escort standing nearby, his voice grating like sandpaper. Miserable? You're having the time of your life rolling around with this trash? The escort arched an eyebrow. You'd know all about that. Wouldn't you? Remind me again about that little gold digger you've been keeping on the side? I subtly gave him a thumbs up. This guy had balls. When manager Emma brought in a fresh lineup of escorts, the VIP room already looked like a tornado had hit it. Her chubby cheeks quivered as she glanced nervously at the daring guy standing amidst the wreckage. Mr. Thompson, perhaps we could. Ethan ground his cigarette under his heel. Send the damages bill to Thompson Group's accounting department. His lips curled into a sneer as he surveyed the dozen handsome escorts. Didn't realize you needed such a buffet. My bad for leaving you hungry. I rolled my eyes internally, mentally revisiting every reason I despised that man whore. Ethan flung a black card onto the dented table. 5 million. Start slapping each other. Loudest hit takes all. I glared. You're insane. Ethan. This is humiliating. Slaps rang out like firecrackers before I finished speaking. Ethan's smirk widened. Seems they're enjoying the humiliation. I turned stiffly to see Emma's recruits in a slapping frenzy, except the bold one, who leaned against the wall with practiced nonchalance. My favorite so far. Ethan dragged me toward the exit, only to be blocked by the smirking troublemaker. Know your place. Rent boy. Ethan growled. You're disposable entertainment. Get lost. I frowned. Must you be so vile? Ethan? His grip tightened, surprised by my defense of another. Shut it. Come home now, or I won't be responsible for what happens next. The escort's handsome face darkened like storm clouds gathering. I shook my head urgently at him, dreading a physical confrontation. As Ethan's legal wife, I knew his influence could crush some random escort. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Outside, Ethan shoved me into a cab's backseat and slid in after me. The ride passed in suffocating silence. Home. He deadbolted the door and dialed someone. Take a crew to Lin Jian. Trash the place. There's also, he looked at me. I shook my head frantically. Not that I was protecting the guy, I genuinely didn't know his name. When you're paying for company, you don't exactly exchange LinkedIn profiles. Get the name from Emma. After wrecking the place, break that bastard's hands. Everyone knew Ethan had anger issues, but his iron self-control meant I'd rarely witnessed this nuclear-level rage. I never imagined he could be so cruel. He's innocent. Ethan, you can't do this. He leaned forward, pinning me beneath him. Those striking eyes bloodshot with jagged crimson veins, anyone daring to covet you forfeits their innocence. Olivia. Be good. Don't let me hear another word pleading his case. Unless you'd prefer I take more than just his hands. In the end, another innocent got dragged into this mess. I shoved against his chest, but he wrestled my wrists above my head. Did they touch you? His breath scorched my ear. When I tried kneeing him, he trapped my legs between his, gnashing my molars against the mattress. I spat. No. That service isn't on the menu. Kissing and groping only, they really know how to leave you hanging. He chuckled darkly, tension easing from his shoulders. You're adorable when you're furious. One hand still manacling my wrists. He pinched my cheek with mock affection. Consider these past few days, indiscretions forgiven. Let's move forward. Be proper husband and wife. Yes? Smooth operator, he'd clearly honed this coaxing routine through extensive practice. Gladly. Dump your college mistress. And we'll play house. Ethan stilled. After waited silence, he released me to rake fingers through disheveled hair. You know she's no threat to your position. If her presence bothers you that much, I'll keep her out of sight. Not a clean break. Then. I nodded mechanically. Small mercies, my heart had long since calloused against him. Ours was a merger disguised as romance. Childhood camaraderie warped into matrimony. I'd nursed that schoolgirl crush for years. The first marital year overflowed with stolen kisses and whispered promises, until paparazzi caught him stumbling into a hotel with some C-list actress. That night, I'd fled to the Song estate in tears. Mother waited until my sobs subsided before offering tissues. Darling, storybook marriages don't exist in our world. I'd give anything for you to have true love. But since reality offers otherwise, adapt. Adapt. 2 syllables that took 18 excruciating months to embody. When Ethan reached to tousle my hair like old times, I flinched away. His brows knotted. Since when do you play the jealous shrew? I thought we understood each other. Once. Compliance stemmed from adoration. Now, it sprang from apathy. The demure song heiress. The gracious Thompson bride, 20 years of suffocating performance. I met his gaze, ready to resurrect the divorce discussion, when his phone shrilled, perhaps to assert dominance. He answered on speaker, Mr. Song. We've smashed Lin Jian Club. But the hand-breaking order, complications. The owners that Boyle family heir, Alexander. The one they recently reclaimed. Also Lin Jian's shadow investor. Alex Boyle? So that's why I'd seen him near the Thompson estate last week. After Ethan left with his mistress, I'd texted Emma Chen for a ride. While waiting curbside, a nondescript Volkswagen had idled nearby, the car window rolled down, revealing an exceptionally handsome face. Where are you headed? Let me give you a ride. Taxis are hard to catch around here. I waved him off. My friend will be here soon. At the time, I couldn't figure out why someone would drive a Volkswagen La Vida worth less than $30,000 in this neighborhood. Not that there's anything wrong with the car, but the estate was the most exclusive gated community in Jade City where vehicles typically started at 7 figures. When I later saw him at Silver Creek Club, I naturally assumed he was some wealthy socialite's kept man. Now that I think about it, he must have been leaving the Boyle mansion that day. I quietly exhaled in relief. Thank God his background wasn't simple. This meant Ethan couldn't easily touch him. The guilt weighing on my conscience lightened considerably. Ethan probably thought smashing a club like Silver Creek was just about writing checks. Money he had. Oceans of it. Status too. Being the heir to the Thompson dynasty that commanded instant respect. What he didn't anticipate was the club's shadow owner being Alexander Boyle, future scion of rival Old Money Boyles and his recent nemesis. Within hours, #Thompson Group VP destroys luxury club over love triangle trended nationwide. The viral news included surveillance footage of Lily Green in her staff uniform flinging herself into Ethan's arms crying darling. Alexander Boyle himself retweeted with commentary, we were unaware of a mess. Green's relationship with Mr. Thompson and maintain we've shown her utmost respect. We await explanation for tonight's vandalism. Ethan's marital status wasn't exactly secret. And Lily, having dared confront the family patriarch demanding recognition, wasn't the discreet type. Netizens quickly doxed her real identity and social media accounts. Every lovey-dovey post she'd ever shared now turned into digital spears hurled her way. Though the hashtag got scrubbed fast, the damage was done. We found ourselves summoned back to the Thompson estate again. The family patriarch sat trembling with rage. Cane in hand. Ethan's father stood behind the old man, glaring daggers at us. You ungrateful whelp. On your knees. The command cracked like a whip. Ethan clenched his jaw but dropped without protest. Dress pants meeting marble with a thud. Last time you claimed that girl was just some gold-digging bartender. Now she's your mistress? And the Boyle boy every visit lands his grandfather in the hospital. That lunatic's club? For this trash? Each accusation landed with a thwack of cane against Ethan's shoulders. But grandfather. I wrecked the place because Ethan bit off his words mid-sentence, suddenly finding the floor fascinating. The patriarch turned his hawkish gaze to me. Olivia. You explain. I glanced at Ethan's bowed head and mimicked his posture, suddenly wishing the marble would swallow me whole. How exactly does one explain that this whole mess started because your husband caught you hiring Alexander Boyle as your boy toy? Throughout the interrogation, Ethan's phone kept vibrating. Probably Lily. Being doxxed couldn't be pleasant. Sure enough, the moment we stepped off estate grounds, he redialed while striding toward his Maybach. Stay calm. I'm coming now. His voice held forced evenness with an undercurrent of tenderness. Stop crying. Just wait for me. Thank God I'd learned my lesson and driven separately. At least this time, I wouldn't be left standing in the valet circle watching taillights disappear. Again. Ethan looked at me, hesitating. I nodded calmly. Go ahead. I don't harbor ill will toward the girl. Aside from flaunting how well you treated her, she never truly harmed me. The real responsibility for the affair lies with you. Instead of going home, I drove to the office. The Song family's businesses had been managed by Ben these past years. When he learned about my divorce decision, he asked, finalized? The asset division alone will be complicated, not to mention how it affects our family collaboration. My entire upbringing had taught me that family interests outweighed personal desires. Old money dynasties resembled ancient oaks while the main trunk stood strong. Opportunistic branches constantly schemed to replace it. But, I whispered, a lifetime is so long. Ben paused before ruffling my hair tenderly. Divorce if you must. The Song family doesn't need our daughter's marriage to survive. The vandalism incident had caused Thompson Group's stocks to dip. Lily's public tantrums didn't help. When Ethan finally returned days later, I slid the divorce papers across the table. Review and sign. He threw them in the trash. Olivia, can we stop this? I'm exhausted. His arms reached for me. I pushed him away. When have I ever played games? Sign now for a clean break. Or we'll settle this in court. His composure cracked. Must you be so cruel? I don't want this. Let's fix things, I'll end it with her. Like you wanted. Too late. Ethan began living at corporate headquarters, yet bombarded me daily with morning/night texts, mundane updates, and extravagant gifts, perhaps recycling his playbook with Lily. When he texted about his afternoon latte, I finally snapped, aren't you tired? Why bother when there's no love here? The message thread went silent. 4 days. He'd monologued into the void of my non-replies. Next dawn brought another text, realized I do love you. Please give me another chance. My fingers flew, stop blabbering. Come home and sign the papers. How pathetic. His desperation escalated to public declarations on Thompson Group's official account. Netizens eviscerated him, cheating mutt doing damage control? Gross performance art. Stock tanked after his mistress trashed that store, now he's image polishing. He absorbed every insult. Then posted a groveling apology, my failures are undeniable. I accept all criticism. My only wish is to salvage my marriage and reclaim my true love. Watching this circus unfold, I felt nothing but weary detachment. I asked Ethan for the company's top lawyer and prepared to file for divorce. The next day, Lily met me at a cafe. Her eyes were red and swollen from crying, barely able to open. Her pretty face looked sallow, lips chapped, voice raspy as she pleaded. Can you give Ethan back to me? I really love him. I'm begging you. Though she looked pitiful, what did that have to do with me? Since when does the other woman demand the lawful wife surrender her husband? You shouldn't be coming to me. Her tears splattered on the table. He broke up with me. He won't see me. Please help, I can't live without him. I stood, looking down coldly. I can't help. We're getting divorced. Her swollen eyes suddenly gleamed with hope. I smirked and left. Let the little gold digger keep dreaming. Good luck to her. Ethan was waiting in my living room when I returned home. Back to sign the papers? I arched an eyebrow. He shifted uncomfortably. My assistant said there's a popular movie, he bought us tickets. Was this a date proposal? Save it. The only thing left to discuss is divorce. My lawyer's ready. Refuse to sign. And we'll meet in court. He sat shadowed, silent for long moments. Is there no alternative? None. Give me 1 month. We never had our honeymoon. My brows knitted. Pointless. It matters. His voice hardened. I'll sign after. Otherwise, litigation could take years. The fastest solution. Seeing my hesitation, he pressed. I'll concede more assets. But this month, we live like normal newlyweds. His bitter smile cut through the gloom. Consider it belated marital bliss. The property concessions tipped the scales. Deal. No physical contact. Draft the agreement tomorrow. Ethan's revised terms stunned me. 2 extra office buildings. 3 retail spaces. Even 5% of Thompson Group shares. He only owns 20% personally. With assets settled, he became absurdly enthusiastic. Planning our honeymoon like a teenager. Olivia! Let's go to Disneyland. Or Malibu. I lounged on the sofa. Gaming. Don't you have work? Delegated everything. My assistant will handle emergencies. He thrust a detailed itinerary at me. Eyes shining. Where should we start? We'd play act romance for 30 days. I pointed at random, the largest mall. He produced matching cheesy outfits. Blushing as I changed. Chanting divorce settlement like a mantra. I endured. We ate at couple-themed hot pot joints. Played claw machines. Each saccharine moment fueled my countdown to freedom. Hugging an armful of plush toys. I turned to head for the escape room only to collide with a broad chest. Watch your step, came the familiar voice. I looked up into Alex's piercing gaze. Knowing his true identity now. Memories of my shameless behavior straddling his lap and kissing him recklessly at Linjiang made my cheeks burn with embarrassment. Ethan swiftly pulled me away from Alex's arms, tucking me protectively behind him. The air crackled with tension between the 2 men even before Alex drawled. Impressive multitasking as always. Mr. Thompson. Managing both domestic and external affairs. Ethan's spine straightened like a steel rod. You do well to focus on your own business. Mr. Boyle. My marriage isn't your concern. His voice carried winter's edge. Seems you've forgotten my warning about coveting what isn't yours. Has the final curtain fallen yet? Alex's laugh held dark amusement. The game's still ongoing. Wouldn't you agree, Ethan? He adjusted his cufflinks mockingly. I should thank you though. Those generous funds from Thompson Group arrived just as I planned renovations for Linjiang. Your timing was serendipitous. The confrontation killed Ethan's mood for games. We left the venue early. The car ride home thick with unspoken words. That Boyle bastard's dangerous. Ethan finally said. Knuckles white on the steering wheel. Promise you'll stay away from him. I silently agreed. Today's calculating Alex bore no resemblance to Linjiang's charming warrior but kept my thoughts locked away. Ethan stole glances at me. Switching tactics. How about Provence next week? Or the Maldives? His tentative tone these days grated my nerves. This perpetual walking on eggshells. Whatever. I stared at passing streetlights. Just 30 more days. Our travel plans never materialized. Lily's pregnancy bomb detonated across social media. A grainy ultrasound photo captioned Daddy doesn't want us. But Mommy will love you enough for both. The internet mob descended like vultures. Thompson Group's stock plummeted, bleeding $120 million overnight as hashtag divorce the bastard trended worldwide. Strangers flooded my DMs. Queen. Dump that cheater. We'll crowdfund your lawyer. Song Family Products FTW. My ancestral home sales skyrocketed despite their pleas for rational consumption. The hashtag shop for divorce going viral. We didn't wait out the month. When Ethan slid the signed papers across his mahogany desk, his trembling finger left condensation rings under the iced whiskey glass. Olivia, his voice broke. After I fix this mess, could I? May I try winning you back properly? No. The word left no room for negotiation. Let's keep some dignity. He turned toward the floor-to-ceiling windows. Manhattan skyline blurred as a single tear tracked through his reflection's perfect facade. After the divorce, I packed my bags and left the country to travel the world. Ethan drove me to the airport. Before security, he patted my shoulder. Olivia, I hope you'll finally live for yourself. Unshackled. Tears welled up as I nodded. Country after country. My skin tanned deeper, but my laughter grew louder. I ran barefoot through Moroccan markets, binge-watched dramas with chip crumbs on hotel sheets, and bought street tacos in Mexico City with bedhead and flip-flops. No more perfect song family heiress. No more dutiful Mrs. Thompson. Just Olivia, sunburned, messy, gloriously free. I spotted Ethan occasionally, leaning against a London phone booth, shadowed on a Venetian gondola. He kept his distance. Let him look. Rumor said the Thompson elders disowned him after the Lily Green scandal. Some cousins even pushed to replace him as heir. He cleaned up his messes silently. Rich families always want heirs. Mistresses' babies get silver spoons anyway, future pawns. But Lily lost hers at 16 weeks. Ethan made her take a paternity test. His? Abort. Not his? Walk away. The results freed him. With her billionaire fantasy gone, Lily terminated. Later, Ethan left the Thompson Group. I want to walk her path, he told reporters. Let him. When Alex found me watching Scottish cliffs bleed into sunset, he sat down uninvited. Olivia's song. Let's try us. I tilted my head. Marriage? No thanks. I've got looks, money, and the song empire. Why chain myself again? He grinned. You could spend my money on male models. Tempting. I laughed. But my ex's alimony lasts 3 lifetimes. Why jump from Dragon's Den to Tiger's Pit? Both he and Ethan were predators raised in boardrooms. The sea breeze carried salt and freedom. Marriage isn't mandatory. Who says solo sunsets can't glow just as golden? Epilogue. Since signing divorce papers, I haven't slept. Olivia's ghost haunts every room. I track her Instagram, Santorini cliffs, Bali waterfalls, that radiant smile that never reached her eyes at our galas. The board blames me for crashing stock prices. Let them. Once I fix this mess, I'll follow her trail, even if she never looks back. The old folks at home are always looking for chances to kick me out. If I leave, it'll be on my own terms, not because they forced me out. Then there's Lily. What made me fall for her in the first place? Maybe it was how she stood at the school gates hugging her textbooks. White sundress fluttering in the wind. All fresh-faced innocence. She reminded me of Olivia from back in the day. Yet not quite the same. Olivia loved wearing white dresses too. Always so gentle and refined. I drove to the condo I bought for Lily. The familiar furnishings hit me like a gut punch. Remembering all the reckless things we'd done here made me feel filthy. How could someone this tainted ever deserve Olivia's return? Lily rushed over happily, placing a hand on her still, flat stomach. Ethan, are you here to see me and the baby? My gaze fixed on her abdomen. Get rid of it while it's early. Her smile vanished. What are you saying? This is your child. The only woman qualified to carry my child is Olivia. My throat tightened. Though she'll never, the realization struck. Actually, prove it's mine. Abortion now or amniocentesis later, your choice. She turned pregnancy into a weapon. Again she defied me and went to the family estate. Somehow she knew heirs mattered in families like ours. Especially after 3 childless years with Olivia. The old Thompson patriarch intervened despite his disapproval. Wait until 16 weeks then. We'll do DNA testing. My voice turned icy. If it's mine, I'll find ways to terminate it. Cruel? Maybe. But letting her bear my child would destroy any remaining chance with Olivia. Insomnia worsened. Closing my eyes, I saw Olivia everywhere, smiling tenderly, scolding me for messy clothes, reading by the window. The longing ate me alive. My therapist called it lovesickness. The cure lies with the source, he said. But my remedy was oceans away, refusing to see me. The wait felt eternal. At 16 weeks, I dragged Lily for amniocentesis. Negative. I sobbed uncontrollably. Olivia, my Olivia, I'd fought hard to get one last month with her, hoping to rekindle her feelings. Now, because of this stranger's child, everything shattered. Storming into the condo, I grabbed Lily's throat. Why? Why make me lose her? Gasping, she clawed at my arms. You never loved, it wasn't you, you were the one who initiated the flirting. Ethan, no one forced you to cheat. The grip on my hand gradually loosened. True, no one had forced me to betray my marriage. It took me 6 months to resolve company affairs. After regaining everyone's trust, I voluntarily resigned. The longing was too bitter. I wanted to find her. Even if it meant watching from afar. Even if she'd never take me back. Just seeing her would be enough sweetness. I met him.So when I was 5. To secure my education, my mother reluctantly sent me back to the Boyle family mansion, my first encounter with both the ancestral home and my grandparents. The Boyle estate dwarfed even the nicest villa in our small town. Clinging to my mother's skirt, I felt suffocated by the oppressive grandeur. Grandma sipped her tea, porcelain clinking as she eyed us contemptuously. Raised in a modest background, it's no surprise you lack refinement. I'll never understand why Benjamin abandoned proper society for some provincial nobody. My father, Benjamin Thompson, had been the golden heir, destined for greatness. Yet he'd relinquished his inheritance to follow my mother back to her rural hometown. My grandparents never forgave her for stealing their meticulously groomed son, extending that resentment to me. Though acknowledged as Boyle blood, acceptance didn't mean kindness. They'd make me stand under midday sun for dropping a grain of rice, or lock me in the pantry overnight if my spoon clinked against a soup bowl. Then Olivia appeared like some tiny guardian angel. During one sweltering punishment, she tugged my hand and pouted at Grandpa Boyle. Mr. Boyle, won't you let this friend play with me? Who could resist that dimpled smile? For the first time, I saw gentleness soften Grandpa's stern face. She dragged me to shade. Beaming. I'm him.So. What's your name? Alexander Boyle. I mumbled, cheeks burning. Tilting her head, she studied me with wide eyes. Alex. You're the prettiest boy I've ever seen. My stay ended abruptly when a maid smashed Grandpa's concierge vase and blamed me. Though innocent, no one believed the ill-mannered country boy. Years passed between sparse Boyle family visits. Yet I often recalled the girl who'd rescued me from sunstroke. Decades later, I'd built my own empire impressive enough to earn Grandpa's reluctant respect. He summoned me to discuss inheriting Boyle enterprises, traditionalists valuing lineage but worshipping capability above all. Normally I'd refuse. Yet for Mom's sake I agreed. My sweet fool of a mother still dreamed of earning her in-laws' approval. When I left, I saw Olivia standing by the roadside. I'd long forgotten her childhood appearance, though thankfully Grandfather had shown me photos of all third-generation heirs in our circle. On a whim, I rolled down my window and asked if she wanted a ride. She refused without hesitation. Of course, to her now, I was a complete stranger. She'd have been an idiot to get in my car. Never expected to encounter Olivia at Forest Glen. The picture-perfect heiress of the Song family paraded as a seductive enchantress. Perhaps this was her true nature, all fiery passion and dangerous allure. Our eyes met. Her porcelain finger pointed decisively. That one's the prettiest. I'll take him. She'd mistaken me for hired entertainment. Lowering my gaze into harmless innocence, I approached with practiced charm. This could be entertaining. Ethan came exactly as planned. My people contacted him about his mistress working at Forest Glen. From what I'd uncovered about his pampered little plaything, he'd never allow her employment here. Predictably, he came running. I left the suite door ajar, directing foot traffic past our scene. When Ethan discovered us, his rage surpassed expectations. Then again, what man could stay composed watching his wife cheat? I'll admit this entire charade stemmed from petty amusement until Ethan tried dragging her away. Some primal instinct roared, "Claim her." Maybe I regretted engineering this when she straddled me, kissing with chaotic desperation, blocking their exit. I met her warning headshake. Of course, they're legally married. Who was I to interfere? She was never mine to reclaim. The security footage went to press with my custom headline, "Thompson Group Heir Destroys Elite Club and Love Triangle Fury." The truth? No witness would dare speak. As for the alleged mistress, even if she talked, who'd believe her? True to form, Ethan paid damages in full. His message arrived with the check, "Know your place. Stop coveting what isn't yours." My office desk cleared with one violent sweep. After the tantrum subsided, I acknowledged his point. Did I even like Olivia? She amused me until seeing her match Ethan's outfit at the mall. 2 cigarette packs later, that coordinated couple's outfit still burned behind my eyelids. If their marital bliss offended me, why not shatter it? Ethan claims she doesn't belong to me? Fine. I'll make her mine. Enter Lily. Ambition makes manipulation easy. One pregnancy test away from married tycoon impregnates mistress headlines. By leveraging the power of public opinion, Ethan and Lily's marriage would inevitably end in divorce. As for whether an idiot like Lily could use the child to secure her position, that would depend entirely on her own schemes. Their divorce became final. I'd crossed paths with Ethan at several business galas. He seemed in poor spirits lately. Rumor had it he was lovesick. Lily failed in her scheme. The baby wasn't even Ethan's. When I heard this news, I simply smiled. Olivia concluded her business in England and departed for Scotland. For months I'd been tracking her movements. I knew Ethan had gone after her. Though to his credit, he kept his distance and didn't dare approach her. "Emma, book me a flight to Scotland tomorrow." She'd had enough time to heal. Perhaps she was ready for new romance now. I stood by the window gazing at cotton-clouded skies, asking myself again, did I love Olivia? The answer remained yes.